Hello Facebookers, uh, I'm here again in the Playhouse Music Studio. I'm going to give you a bit of a walk around of some of my current gear, a little bit more in depth this time. I'll show you what some of it's I've got set up to do, just so that it gives a bit of an insight into how Concept Devices makes music. All hardware, all synced, or well, basically it's in the gear is in three separate sections, all comes together in one, as a whole. I've got well, best thing to do is for me to turn the camera around and basically show you what each section does, and give you a bit of a listen, although it won't be too good through this iPhone mic, but it's you'll be able to get a general idea, and you might find out a few things that could become useful to yourselves. Anyway, I'll turn the camera around now, and then we'll go through each different section, and I'll give you a bit of a demo on each one and what it's basically doing. Just a few points before I turn it round. In my opinion, no matter how good a synth is, however much money you spend on a piece of equipment to make music or to make sounds or whatever, it always sounds better when you put it through an effects pedal. Personally, I use hardware effects pedals. Obviously, same goes for VSTs on your PCs, your laptops, in your DAWs. You can add effects to them just the same as what I would be adding with hardware pedals. I sort of have an hardware pedal attached to every one of my sound sources, based on the fact that they sound better with an effects pedal attached. Joining effects pedals is a matter of choice as to what kind, how much you want to change the characteristics of the actual synth sound, and how much you want to spend on a pedal, really. Some cheaper pedals sound just as good as the dear ones, and Margot's chewing away at a bone down here, and he's putting me off a bit, but she's always with me in here, so it's a case of having to put up with it, really. Also, what else is there? I record into Zoom L12 into separate channels on a Zoom L12, but generally once it's been captured in there, I'll transfer the files over to Cubase. I'm not sure about the quality of the Zoom L12s as a finished recording medium. I mean, it captures the sounds pretty good, but as soon as you load them into Cubase or one of your DAWs, they sound infinitely better, and you got a bit more control over volume and EQ and all that. So that's how I do it anyway. When I jam live, recording to separate channels on the Zoom L12, and then transfer them into Cubase for further processing. That's about it really. I've had a fair few new pieces of equipment since the last time I did this kind of video walk around, but the actual process as to what I use, how I record and what I use is not really changed. Still live, still jamming, and seeing what happens. So anyway, I'll turn the camera around and we'll go to. I'll show you just 3 separate sections. There is one emission here in the Playhouse at the moment. My micro freak has gone off to repairers, so there's a gap on the stand, and it's quite an important piece of kit in my arsenal, but such is life. So anyway, I'll turn the camera around and we can carry on from there. Right then, now I've turned the camera around. I'll just give you a quick scan round what's in here, and then we'll go into a bit more detail in a little while. So we got as you can see, there's a load of stuff in here that's stored and for our concerts and whatnot behind me, and the stuff on the shelf that is not used very often, and it's up there for when I want to swap something out or want to use, just fancy playing with one of them or something like that. But anyway, let's go down into a bit more detail. Before I go any further, I did mention about effects pedals and me using one per synth, and that is like across the board. I tend to not put more than one sound into one effects pedals, because it seems to swamp the sound a little bit and loses clarity. I don't think there are many effects pedals that's capable of accepting more than one or two sounds going into them before they become muddy and unclear and just uncontrollable and whatnot. So one effects pedal per sound, apart from what this is section 1, which is what I call my open mic rig, which is down there. It's basically a Volca keys or Yamaha CSL1, a Boss BX4 4-channel stereo mixer, Boss DD20 Giga delay, Nintendo DS Lite running Korg DS10 software, and that Concept Devices effects pedal. Also attached to them is that Boss ME50B. They're all currently powered by the wall warts in the back there, but they are also all battery powered as well. So it's basically a portable rig for quick setups for electronic music, open mic night type of thing, but it also becomes one section of the 3 sections of my music making arsenal. So second section is a couple of key steps. They are synced via the Arturia sync in out together. The white one is running the Make Noise Outcoast, and the black one is running the Pittsburgh Modular Microvolt 3900. Basically, the MIDI is just direct to both, and the key steps are keeping those 2 synths in sync, basically in time, and this, along with there, which should be an Arturia Micro Freak, becomes my what you say, sequencing rig number 2 sequencing. It can also be played live notes if I'm not sort of sending automated sequence data from the key steps to the synths, but that's my sequencing rig. The Outcoast is going through the Moore Ocean Machine, and the Pittsburgh Modular is currently going through that RV3 digital reverb delay, and that's rig number 2. Rig number 3, which is what I call me live playing rig, is that CSO1 up there with that key step, which is running that Waldorf strike fit. The CSO1 is going through that RV3 pedal, and the strike fit is going through that pitch shifter delay pedal, and that's about it. These 2 down here are not used. Rack mount Lexicon MX300 and a Euro Rack 16 channel mixer, not used anymore. Behind there are a couple of Fostix powered monitors in the briefcase that I'll fetch out and use for listening after I've recorded something. Obviously up on the shelf, booty, there's a Shruthi, there's a Volca bass, Volca sample, Nicks, various effects pedals, Korg equalizer, graphic equalizer, the amp for the sound, and in the case that's a Korg Poly 800, which is too big to put out here. So again, that gets very little use. From the PC, all the sounds going through there, and out through the speakers, which are Kef speakers there, and Tannoy Mercury 1 and 2, split via a box over the back, behind that Volca bass. So that's a general walk around of what's in here and what each synth's about to be doing, and I'll give it a bit of a demo on each section. Hopefully the sound will come out alright, but it's just to show you what each section does and why I use it the way I use it. Okay, so I've turned the volume up a bit so that the phone mic can pick up the sound a little bit better, but there is going to be background noise on this section. I am going to record it. I've set all the armed all the channels, and I'm going to hit the record button and record everything. I'll start it off now. It's now recording, but it ain't receiving any signals yet. So anyway, quick overview of this section first, then the sequencing section, and then the live playing section at the end. I'll be talking over the top just to explain what's happening, and then I'll put the camera on that stand, which is my bass guitar stand, but it seems to be okay. Move it around a little bit, and then do a bit of an improv using everything all together. See what happens. And so here's the first bit anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'll just set the giga delay off into record mode. That's currently set on 23 seconds, its maximum delay, but anything between 16 and 23 seconds will do what it's done. Most people know what this pedal's capable of, so it's no point in me waffling on about it. Basically it records a ever-evolving loop without a defined start and end point, and anywhere along that loop you can add to it, and that it basically increases the extra amount of sound that's gone on top. So as the first loop starts to die, the second and subsequent third, fourth, fifth, or however many sounds you build up over the top continue, and it's basically a live recorder that's not tempo based, and it just does the job of setting up an ambient background. So I'm going to just play something fairly simple and bring each of the items into play, including that. What I'll do is I'll just show you what that expression pedal on there is capable of doing in relation to the synths here and the effects unit there. So I'm going to be doing it with one hand and holding the phone with the other, so I can turn the phone around and show you what's actually happening. CSO1, I'll just pick a random note A. Now hopefully that's loud enough and you can hear what's happening there. That's going into that looper now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start and swoop that resonance with my foot, just to add some movement and a bit of focus on that sound. When that looper gets round to which it is now, it's carrying on playing that sound. So I'm going to just riff this one off by using the frequency cutoff on the synth. So that's just now playing what I've just done, utilising that synth and that pedal, which is a programmable expression pedal. I'm not sure what other multi-effects units has got this function, but this one seems to be the only one that I've found, and it's very good. It's got a resonance expression, so basically it changes the tonal characteristics of the sound that you got going into it, basically sweeping the resonance of anything that you put into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add something off the Volca keys, just something fairly simple, again based on the looper still going, but now I'm going to add something off the Volca keys. So I'm going to just play something on the Volca, and you should just be able to hear that coming in. and I'm sweeping it in with that pedal, bringing it up into the sound. Change the note a bit to add a bit of interest. So now I'm going to have a play with the Chaos pad on this Volca. Again, I'm going to be moving my foot backwards and forwards to basically change the tonal characteristics of the sound. I'm going to turn the looper off now because there's enough in that for the time being, and that's just playing them 3 synths over and over again, what I've just done. Let's just bring this one in. This is just a noise box really, but it's pretty good for adding a little bit more interest, but I'm not going to put it into the loop. I'm just going to play it with the pedal. And okay, so it's not turned on at the moment, so I'm going to turn it on and then just play with some of the sounds that comes out of this. Can you hear that? Now I can add some of that to the loop if I wanted. So it's got a bit of a interesting thing going on there. So I'm going to turn the looper on and then bring that sound back in with the pedal. The resonance sweep is basically changing the characteristics of that sound. And we've just got a bit of a effects thing. Now that's in the looper. I'm going to turn that off and turn the looper off now. So we've got a bit of a ambient loop going on there. This is where it starts to become interesting. Well, I'll say interesting. It is to me anyway. So, we've got this little baby here, another CSL1, which is only sort of going through a reverb delay pedal. If I have a, let's pick the footage up right, I'll have a play with that. Obviously this won't carry on playing. When I take my finger off it, it stops. Whereas the strike fit, I've got a sustain pedal on the floor down there, which helps me swap chords and things because of my lack of technique. So, strike fit, play a A minor chord, hold it on that pedal, not playing, there's my hand. We'll go to what shall we go? D minor. That's a bit loud, I think. Seems to be overpowering the ambient loop in the background, so just turn it down a bit. And we've got that nice A minor again. And I think we go to E major. And then a G. And then a C. And that's just coming off that really. Again, just live playing. So I'm holding that C now. Again, let's hope that the sequences, just bearing in mind that the this is just a general mess about, so if these sequences don't sound right with everything else, that's just the way it is. But it's only a tester. When I do the all together jam and I put the phone down and I can play with both hands and whatnot, I'll make sure them right. Okay, so I'm going to start these sequences. If you watch the 2 key steps red tempo buttons, they'll start at the same time, or should do. Of course, they sync together. See, so they're both flashing at the same time, and both of them synths are doing something. You can't hear it because I've got the volume down, just in case. Right, so I'm going to bring the volume up on the Pittsburgh modular. That don't sound right to me straight away, so let's just change the transposer key of them. That might make it a bit better. That's it, that's better. So you might be able to just hear that coming in now. I'm starting to bring the outpost in. Right then, sorry about that abrupt end. The storage capacity of my phone filled up and it stopped the video. But you get the general idea of what's going to be happening. I've cleared the storage capacity, enabling me to be able to do probably about 10 minutes or so of improv using everything, and I'll get round to doing that very soon. But I hope you've enjoyed this this bit of a walk around of the Playhouse Music Studio, and how Concept Devices uses various bits of gear to make music. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye for now.